According to analysis from RX Savings Solutions, drug makers have raised list prices by an average of 6.6% on a variety of prescription drugs in just the first few weeks of this year. This comes as inflation is also concerning. An expert on insurance and drug prices joins us now, Paul Seegert from PCS Advisors. Is this kind of increase common?
It is. The industry a couple times a year gives out increases. It's really about every 6 months that they'll do something like this, and it's a case of $5 gas making $4 gas look good. As recently as a couple of years ago, they came out with double-digit increases, and they got a lot of blowback from that, from consumers and politicians and so on. And so they've been behaving a little bit better, coming in just under 7% this time. This same time last year, I think they were in the mid-4s. It's always been inflationary. Now it's just kind of matching the rest of inflation, but generally speaking, it's been greater than inflation, often doubling the rest of the market.
A couple of days ago, Mark Cuban said he was going to launch an online pharmacy trying to combat some price gouging. There are some other tactics out there, some places where you can try to save on prescription drugs. In the end, are things like that, new ways to get drugs on the market, are those going to continue to help fight this, or are these drug makers going to find ways to still get in our pocketbooks?
I wish I was more optimistic, but this industry has done a really good job. I mean, their political giving is with such precision. They've protected themselves very well. The American consumer makes up 70-80% of global profits for the pharmaceutical industry. It's a lot of middle players, pharmacy benefit managers, and some others that add a lot of cost and waste. They don't make drugs. They do not do R&D. A lot of times when you look at some of the comments from manufacturers, when these articles come out every 6 months, they'll say, hey, we got to fund R&D. Most of the waste isn't added by actual manufacturers that do R&D. It's middle players in the process. And to date, they've done a really good job of protecting themselves. And they're inflating the cost of drugs 30, 40, 50, 60% in many cases. You mentioned Mark Cuban's play that he's making. I'm actually pretty excited about it. I see some reason for optimism there in a way that I haven't before. Mark Cuban's go at it is unique in a couple of ways. One is, which I think is really smart, he's going after generic drugs at first. So he's not attacking the most profitable part of Big Pharma's business, the specialty drugs and high-dollar brand drugs. Perhaps he'll face a little less opposition. And then the other thing that he's doing is not taking insurance, which was going to be a fundamentally required thing if you're going to really disrupt this market, because the insurance model has such strong control. Quick example of what I mean. If you are a pharmacy and you take insurance, you don't get to determine your own cash price for a drug. That gets dictated to you by the insurance system. Montelukast is an example I use a lot. It's a generic for allergies and asthma. If you take insurance at your pharmacy, when someone presents their insurance, maybe you're going to tell them, okay, if you pay cash, it's $400 for a 90-day supply. If you have insurance, it's $25. But if you were able to determine your own fair cash price, it would be $34.50 for a year, and the pharmacy could actually be profitable on that. And that's what Mark Cuban's put himself in a position to do. He's taking these drugs directly from the manufacturer and adding a 15% markup. It's really disruptive, actually.
That is Paul Seegert, managing partner at PCS Advisors. Interesting stuff.